Okay, good evening once again. Thank you so much for being here. So, to start our event, I would like to request, we're going to start on an auspicious note. So, I would like to request Dr. Karan Singh, Satish Kumar ji, Dr. Jyotsna Singh, Mr. Rajendra Pawar, Dr. Geeta Thakur, Dr. A.K. Merchant, and Mr. Sunil Malhotra to please light the lamp. It seems like the lighting of the lamp was our first opportunity to innovate, to collaborate, and to find solutions in whatever happens. So thank you for everybody for bearing with that and for, leaning in. Okay, so फिर से आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. Thank you for being here. My name is Ishta. I have been honored with the task and slightly intimidated by the task of emceeing this evening. So I will be taking you through each of the conversations that will be happening. And just to share why are we here today? We are here to be having a conversation with people who have been stalwarts in the space of talking about the inner journey, talking about ecology, talking about in this world of crisis, talking about where we might be able to start, what might some of the leverages of change be. And so I myself have had the honor of being in a couple of spaces where we talk about climate change and we talk about the problems that we're presented with in the world and sustainability. And yet there is a lot of despair, hopelessness, confusion. And so I will pause. And so we will have people guiding us through this feeling, all these feelings that might be present in the room. So I won't say anything more now. But I would like to invite Dr. Jyotsna Singh to set some more context for the evening. And so a short introduction. Dr. Jyotsna Singh, chairperson of the Karan Singh Foundation and trustee of the Temple of Understanding India Foundation. She is a gifted artist and a dedicated champion of intercultural and syncretic dialogue. Dr. Jyotsna Singh earned her PhD from Delhi University, where she also served on the faculty. She is the visionary founder of the Dara Shiko Center, which fosters harmony across traditions. And as many of you may know, she is the daughter of Dr. Karan Singh, continuing a legacy of culture bridge building, scholarship, and service. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Jyotsna Singh.
Good evening, everyone. Namaskar. very, very warm welcome to you all to this evening's program. We are very, very pleased to have Satish Kumar ji here, who is a kind of living example of what peace in personal life, as well as being able to become a kind of community leader in peace can be, with complete commitment. Also, I'm grateful that Dr. Karan Singh, who's not been very well, has made it back from Kashmir, where he was quite sick, to be part of this program. But thank you so much, all these young people, for being here. Rajinder Pawar ji with NIIT and Dr. Geeta Thakur from Manav Rachna University. Thanks to you, we are seeing young people in the audience. There are very few grey heads over here. It's all, you know, younger people. So this is something that some of the trustees of our foundation, the Karan Singh Foundation, is comprised of 6 young trustees. And I'm the chairperson, but there are 3 of them are here, and they've always been asking me कि आप तो सिर्फ एक दूसरे से बात करते रहते हो, you're talking to the converted. आप जब तक young लोगों को इस conversation में नहीं लाएंगे, तब तक आपकी बात ऐसे ही चलती रहेगी, and it won't have any effect. And we are very grateful for all of you young people to have taken time out. You are the future of this country, and if you are convinced that what these stalwarts have been talking about, have spent their life talking about, you know, the inclusivity, the importance of taking people with you, the importance of not thinking that you are the only people with the point of view, you know, being able to carry others with you. And this idea now, and of course, somebody was saying about what a terrible state the world is in. We all know that. But die-hard optimists and people who are talking about hope now, we need to really focus on hope and on action, you know. And for that, आप ही लोग हैं जो इस चीज़ को कर पाएंगे. आपके जो mentors हैं, डॉक्टर राजीव पवार जी हैं या गीता जी हैं, ये तो मेंटर करते हैं आपको, मतलब उन्होंने आपको साथ में लेके चलने के लिए प्रेरित किया है, लेकिन आगे तो आप लोगों को ही चलना है. सो आई वुड ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ द टेम्पल ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग इंडिया फाउंडेशन, of which Dr. A.K. Merchant is a tireless worker, and all the trustees of the Karan Singh Foundation, I welcome you very warmly to this evening's program. I just want to say that the Karan Singh Foundation is going to start a mentorship program of a fellowship, which we will have 4 fellowships annually, and we can talk about that later. But basically, it's to take forward the work that these wonderful people have spent their lives doing. So thank you very much, and welcome again.
Thank you. And before we go ahead, if we haven't already, a housekeeping reminder, apne phones please silent pe kar lijiyega. You can feel free to take photos, so you don't have to switch it off completely, just keep it on silent. And with that, the rest of the event is going to be in 2 segments. Pehle segment mein, is it? Okay. In the first segment, pehle segment mein we will hear from both of them. They will be sharing with us. And second segment mein hum open up karenge for dialogue. So there will be more conversations. So please listen in, listen keenly. Agar aisa kuch hai jiske bare mein aap aur janna chahein, please make sure to ask questions. And we will, of course, be encouraging the youth present today to be asking those questions. So with that, I would... it's my honor to invite someone who needs no introduction and has graciously agreed to preside over this special evening. A truly distinguished statesman, scholar and philosopher, Padma Vibhushan Dr. Karan Singh is easily the most erudite and accomplished personality of India. He is a rare combination, deeply philosophical on the one hand and a spirited statesman on the other. Dr. Karan Singh has been the longest serving political figure of independent India and is the only parliamentarian to have held office for 40 years before his retirement in 2019, all without drawing a salary or occupying government accommodation. He was India's ambassador to the US in 1989. He is an eminent educationist, environmentalist, and a towering authority on Indian spiritual systems. His PhD thesis was on the political thought of Sri Aurobindo. Dr. Karan Singh joined the cabinet of Indira Gandhi in 1967 at the age of 36 and has headed several ministries, including tourism, civil aviation, health, and education. A lifelong conservationist, he has also led the National Board for Wildlife and launched the landmark Project Tiger. He was the chairman of Auroville Foundation for 20 years and chancellor of Jawaharlal Nehru University and Banaras Hindu University. He is the international chairman of the Temple of Understanding and author of more than 20 books. He is often described as the best president India never had. Please join me in inviting Dr. Karan Singh.
Satish Kumar ji, Sunil Malhotra ji, Rajendra Pawar, Dr. Geeta Thakur, Jyotsna Singh, and other members of the core committee, representatives of the press and electronic media, dear students and distinguished members of the audience. It is my pleasure and privilege to introduce Sri Satish Kumar, who is an iconic figure, except nobody knows him in India any longer because he's disappeared. He was a Jain monk, if you please, and has become an iconic peace activist and pacifist. His famous, if you remember, walk, he and a colleague walked for 8,000 miles, 2.5 years, around the world, going to all the capitals of the world and trying to convert them to peace and to pacifism. I'm not sure how successful you were, but nonetheless, it was worth trying. And he's, of course, founded the Schumacher College near London, which I was going to visit but wasn't able to do so. He's been very active in many of these movements, nuclear disarmament, environmental sustainability, and so on. I must say that many of the movements, Satish, in which we were involved have collapsed. Let's face it, the non-proliferation movement has collapsed. The contrary has happened. More and more weapons are being made now. People who had already closed their factories, they have to open them again and create atomic weapons. Similarly, the peace movement also seems to have collapsed. There are wars everywhere. There are wars in Europe, there are wars in Asia, there are wars in Africa, there are wars in Latin America. So the whole world seems to me to be in tumult and turmoil. And we find ourselves precariously poised between a disappearing past and an indeterminate future. We are like Trishanku. Between the two, the past is disappearing very rapidly because of the changes that are taking place. The future is not clear because of technology particularly. It's so exponential that you have no idea what is going to happen within the next 5 years. At one stage, 10 years was considered to be a sort of, as it were, a whole family of technology. Now it's changing every 2 years. So we are in a very, but there are two movements that are still carrying on. One is the interfaith movement, which I have been involved for many years. As you know, the interfaith movement began in 1893 with the first Parliament of the World's Religions in Chicago, where Swami Vivekananda made such an important impression, speech. And that has been continuing to this day. The Temple of Understanding India Foundation, which I head, is also part of that. We're trying still to bring about harmony between various religious traditions. And India, as you know, has all the traditions that ever existed, all the religions that ever existed. And therefore, we are a country where above all we need a syncretic tradition. And that can be developed only if we have interfaith harmony. And the other movement, of course, is the environmental movement, in which you yourself are so closely involved. And I was at the birth of the environmental movement, Satish ji, in 1972 in Stockholm.
You were there?
I was there.
Yes.
I was on the Indian delegation.
Yes, yes.
And so I saw the birth
I
of
was
that
also
movement.
there.
You were there too.
Yeah.
And, you know, that has grown a lot. But there again, we are overtaken by climate change, by the sort of way we are polluting. We polluted the earth, we polluted the oceans, we polluted the air. What have we not polluted?
Yes, yes, yes.
As a race, the human race has done more damage to the planet than any other race before. And therefore, what we have to do is to try our best within our limited capacities to remedy the situation. And particularly, I would like to address the younger generation. I'm so happy to see so many young people here. Welcome all of you. Give a big hand to the young people who are here. We are here thanks to Rajinder Pawar from the NIIT University, of which I was Chancellor for 10 years, and thanks to Geeta Thakur, who was erstwhile involved with the Manav Rachana University in Faridabad. So these two universities have sent us a batch of students, and I'd like to address them particularly because today everybody is disoriented. If we are disoriented at our age, what will the young people do? I'm now 94, and I have seen so many changes in my lifetime, unbelievable changes. I remember the Second World War. I lived through the Second World War and all the wars subsequently, right down to the present day. And so it's extraordinary, this fascinating panorama of what is happening. But the question is, what should young people do? Now, I know young people don't like receiving advice. You already get plenty of advice. But I'm still going to give you some advice, whether you like it or not. My advice is very simple. If you have to put it in one word, build. First of all, build your bodies. Don't poison your bodies with drugs or with alcohol or with tobacco. Don't. The body is a unique gift. Why should you poison your own bodies? It's ridiculous. And yet you see people still smoking away and drinking away. You know, why do you do that? The tobacco will destroy your lungs. The alcohol will destroy your livers. The drugs will destroy your minds. So do not poison yourselves. Build your bodies, strong bodies, muscles of iron and nerves of steel, as Vivekananda said. Because we need strong bodies in order to build a new world. Then build your minds. The minds have got to be very, very sharp now because new technologies are emerging. And if we're still in the old mindset, we won't learn anything. We have to be very, very sharp. Ask a lot of questions. Never be afraid to ask questions. It's only by asking questions that your mind will grow. This idea that the student is a passive recipient of whatever the teacher says, I don't think is any longer valid. You've got to keep asking questions. So build your minds and try and make them as sharp and receptive as possible. Then build your emotions. Nobody talks about the emotions. But you can build your emotions. You have the negative emotions, jealousy, hatred, anger, fear, envy. And you have the positive emotions, love, harmony, understanding, helpfulness. You've got to make a choice in your own mind. What do you want to be? Do you want to be a creature full of anger and full of jealousy, and full of negativity? Or do you want to be a creature full of love and full of helpfulness? That is your decision. People don't talk about the emotions at all. They assume the emotions will come, they won't. In the same way as you train your body and your minds, you've got to train your emotions. And finally, your spirituality, your inner power. Ultimately, that is the only thing that is going to count in the long run. You know, in the long run, of course, as Lord Acton says, in the long run, we are all dead. But I'm not talking of that long a run. As long as we can run, let us run with a certain amount of creativity and develop the spirituality within you. Everybody's got a spiritual core. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hriddeshe tishtati. The Lord resides in the heart of all beings, regardless of caste or creed or religion or nationality. There's a divinity within each individual. That you've got to develop. There are many paths, there are many religions, there are many faiths, there are many techniques. There's meditation, there's prayer, there's yoga, many things you can do, but do something. Don't live only on the surface of your life. Live within also. I've seen people skimming through across life without once looking within. If you just sit quietly and look within for 5 minutes every day, even that is a very good exercise. Satish ji will tell you more about that, because he is a monk and I am a layman. I cannot tell you about that. But what I am trying to say is, build your bodies, build your minds, build your emotions, and build your spiritual power within. It's only when you do these 4 things, my dear friends, that you will be able to build a new world. Otherwise, the world is going to rack and ruin as it is, and will probably continue on that path. So friends, I don't want to take too much of your time. Despite saying that you don't like advice, I gave you some for what it is worth. And I will now call upon Satish ji to please address the audience and give us the benefit of your wisdom and your unique experience.
Thank you. Thank you.
Would you like a collar mic or would you like to speak from there?
He has a collar mic. So
Got a
I
collar
came on because Satish ji was looking at me, but I was going to say that the way I stole a bit of Dr. Karan Singh's speech, he beautifully stole all of mine. So he has introduced you beautifully. So I will pass it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It is my great pleasure to sit next to Dr. Karan Singh, my dear friend, and listen to him and be introduced by him, and also have this wonderful audience in front of me, especially young people. Thank you for coming. The title of my talk as a keynote was advertised as Diversity and Peace. So I would like to say a few words about diversity. Nature favors diversity. In the beginning of the time, there was only energy and gas. Over billions of years of evolution, nature has created billions and trillions and countless forms of life. So nature and evolution favors diversity. No two trees are same. No two human faces and human bodies are same. No two voices are same. Each person has his or her own voice. Each tree has its own personality. Each animals have their own personality. So diversity. I was, as Dr. Karan Singh said, a Jain monk. And the Jain monks believe not only the diversity of life, biodiversity, but diversity of truth. We call it anekantvad, no one truth. Each and every one of us have our own particular point of view. Each one of us see things in our own way. This is wonderful. It's beautiful. The diversity is the cardinal principle of evolution and nature. But unfortunately, our modern industrial society, industrial civilization is trying to create uniformity. Instead of diversity, celebrating diversity, we are trying to create uniformity. And I think diversity leads to peace. And uniformity, the idea of uniformity, that everybody should be the same. Everybody should follow the same political principles, same economic system, same architecture, same industrial goods, same. I think, and when you don't follow a particular ideology, then you are wrong. If you don't follow a particular economic system, you are wrong. So at the moment, the world is following a path of uniformity. Every country in the world, whether you are a Muslim country or a Hindu country or a Christian country or a communist country or a capitalist country or socialist country, whatever your ideology, you are following one basic principle of uniformity, that everybody wants economic growth. And same kind of economic growth, same kind of economic. Wherever you go New York or New Delhi, high-rise buildings, the same. You don't see what is New Delhi, what is New York. If you don't know the name, it will be the same. If you go to Paris or Beijing, the same. So uniformity of architecture, uniformity of dress. Everybody wear the same blue jeans. Everybody same kind of clothing, same kind of McDonald's food, same kind of Coca-Cola, or same kind of whatever. So this uniformity, and if you don't follow uniformity, then there's a kind of war, conflict. So I would say that if you want peace in the world, celebrate diversity of life, diversity of economic systems, diversity of political systems, diversity of religions, diversity of philosophies, diversity of scientific inquiries, diversity in every single field of life should be celebrated. And not say, if you don't follow one particular scientific ideology or scientific methodology, you are wrong. Science is good, but also spirituality, as Dr. Karan Singh said, is necessary. Also, poetry is necessary. Also, art is necessary. We need everything in life. We not just science, technology, or religion. When you follow one particular path, then that creates a narrow world view. So, I would say truth diversity is a very beautiful word according to Jain principle, anekantavad. And shadvad, which means maybe what you are saying is true, maybe your idea is true. Shad means maybe. So maybeism, maybe it's true. So I think I would like young people to learn about this truth diversity, this anekantavad and shadvad, that we should celebrate different ideas. We always talk about freedom of opinion, freedom of ideas, but we don't follow it. You read all the newspapers, they follow the same kind of principles, same kind of news, same kind of critical and analytical approach. So I think this is leading to wars. And so if you want peace, celebrate diversity. But diversity is not opposite to unity. Unity and diversity dance together. So what is the unity principle? The unity principle is non-violence, love. whoever you are, whether you are, when I was walking, as you said, around the world, I went to Muslim countries, I said, you are Muslims, I love you. Then I went to Christian countries, I said, you are Christians, I love you. Then I went to communist countries, Soviet Union, Moscow, I said, you are communist, I love you. Then I went to capitalist countries, Germany, France, England, America, I said, you are capitalist, I love you. Then I went to Buddhist countries, Japan, I said, you are Buddhist, I love you. So non-violence, love unites. So if you want unity, love everyone. Whoever you are, no enemies. Everybody is a human being. Every bird is a beautiful living creature. Every tree is wonderful. All weathers are beautiful. Love everything. Unconditional, unjudgmental. Love. So love unites and truth diversifies. Ahimsa, Satya. In Jain tradition, we put ahimsa first. Ahimsa, Satya. Satya. Truth does not come first. Truth second. Love first. You love first, then you understand your truth. Your truth, that's fine. I accept it. Then we can have a dialogue. We can have a conversation. And we can see whether we can agree or disagree, or whether I can learn from you or you can learn from me, or we can take or give, or if we don't take or don't give, still we love you. So that's my idea of diversity and truth go together, and then love and ahimsa go together as a unity. And if we have that love, as you said, build your body, build yourself, love yourself. If you don't love yourself, you don't take care of yourself, you are not going to take care of the world. But then the second step is to love everyone. As you love yourself, love everyone, irrespective of their nationality, their religion, their culture, their political system, their economic system, they are rich or poor or black or white or man or woman, whoever you are, we love you. So that's the kind of second step, is to love all humanity. And the third step is love nature. At the moment, we see nature only as a resource for the economic growth. And we see humans as a separate from nature. Nature means trees, mountains, forests, rivers, birds, they are nature. We humans are not nature. And this is a fundamental mistake of our modern life. I would like to say, if you want to really have peace in the world, you have to make peace with nature. At the moment, we are at war against nature. We are destroying, as Dr. Karan Singh said, we have polluted our oceans, we have polluted our rivers, we have polluted our air, we are polluting our soil. We are using nature as if it's only a resource for making more money, making more profit, and making more buildings, making more airports, making more roads. But nature has no other value. So having this deep ecological perspective, that nature has intrinsic value. And humans are not separate from nature. We are as much nature as the mountains and the forests and the rivers and the animals and the birds and insects are nature. Nature simply in English means natal. Nature means natal, nation, native, which means birth. If you are Indian native of India, you are born in India. If you are native of any other country, Nepal or China, you are born in China. So native and nature come to the same root. If you a mother is pregnant with a child, then she will say prenatal check, postnatal check. Natal means birth. So whatever is born is nature. So we are all nature. If we can realize that, and then we can take care of ourselves, take care of all human beings, and take care of the natural world. That's the kind of, as you said, environmental movement is strong at the moment, and because of what nature is bouncing back, and climate change, global warming, carbon emission, all those are creating more and more problems for the world. Humanity cannot live peacefully, happily, joyfully if we do not have a flourishing, beautiful nature. And in our Upanishads we say, Isha Vashyamidam Sarvam Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagat Tena Tyaktena Bhunjitha Magradha Kasyasmid Dhanam. I think young people should all study Ishavasyopanishad. If you want to be an ecologist, if you want to be an environmentalist, if you want to take care of nature, if you want to if you want to address the problem of climate change and global warming, study Ishavasyopanishad. Answer is there, that nature is sacred, nature is divine, and we should take from nature only what is our essential need and not our greed. As Mahatma Gandhi said, there is enough in the world for everybody's need, but not enough for anybody's greed. And at the moment, whole world is following the path of greed growth. Economic growth is a growth in greed. And therefore, if we want to really have diversity and peace in the world, then we have to embrace nature and deep ecology. Deep ecology versus shallow ecology. What the R.N.A. Ness, who was a great follower of Mahatma Gandhi and always walked in the mountains of Himalayas and came to India. And he learned from India the idea of deep ecology, which means that nature has intrinsic value. Nature is not valued only in terms of how nature is useful to humans and how it can kind of create your economic growth. But nature has intrinsic value. So if we can embrace that, and if India can follow a path of more ecological and more holistic and more kind of diversity-based economic system and a political system, I think India can lead the way for the world. Because India has Ishavasyopanishad, India has Mahatma Gandhi, India has Buddha, India has Dr. Karan Singh, India has many, many wonderful prophets and teachers and books and so on. So, but we have forgotten in our modern education, it's only education of the head. We started Schumacher College in England for education of head, education of heart, and education of hands. But in our universities now, you are only educated in your head. Heart, as Dr. Karan Singh said, the qualities of the heart, emotions, love, courage, fearlessness, being prepared to take risk. You mentioned I went around the world 8,000 miles without a single penny in my pocket, without a single rupee. That needed courage, that needed trust, that needed heart. It's not just the mind, it's the heart. You have to courage and trust everybody. But in our young people are growing today without enough courage. And without courage, there is no... You are educated and then you say, now somebody should give me a job. Government should give me a job. Business should give me a job. Industry should give me a job. I would like to say to you young people, go out of university and don't seek a job. Create your own job. Create your own job. Because if you are going to work in a big factory, you are going to be a servant. I mean, you get money, but you don't get your creativity, your imagination, your courageous action. So at Schumacher College, we say that when you go out of Schumacher College, don't seek a job, but create your own job. Be your own boss. Be your own CEO of life. Your own life, CEO of all life. So that is a kind of message that we, and also in our education, you are not only learning the head education, no heart, no hands, you don't learn anything, you don't learn to build, to cook, to garden, to grow, to make anything with your hands, to make a pottery, to make furniture, nothing is taught with the hand. Only thing you learn maybe is 2 thumbs to use your smartphone and nothing else. But these 2 hands are a miracle. These 2 hands can build this house. These 2 hands can build this furniture. These 2 hands can grow food. These 2 hands are miracle. But our universities are saying, oh, no, 2 hands are just useless. Just go and make a factory, produce everything, and your hands don't need to make anything. And a head, like we have 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 eyes, 2 ears, we have 2 brains. The left brain and the right brain. You, in your most of the universities, whether it's a Jawaharlal Nehru University or Oxford or Cambridge or Harvard or Yale, any university, I have seen all those universities, they're only educating half head. Governments and industry are spending billions and billions and trillions of rupees and dollars and euros and pounds year after year to train only half head. Left brain. Left brain is a brain of administration, management, kind of measurement, quantity. But right brain is more a brain of quality, of relationship, of imagination, of poetry, of spirituality. And our education don't teach anything of that kind. So we started Schumacher College in England to have education of head and both hemispheres of the head, left brain and right brain. And then heart, courage, compassion, kindness, generosity, love, courage. That's very important. Every person coming out of university and college should be courageous and say, I can do what I want. I can change the world. I can lead the world. That's the kind of education we want. And then hands. You should be able to grow. Every school in our world should have a garden. Every university should have a field. Every university and the college should have a kitchen where students and teachers are cooking together, eating together. That's what we do at Schumacher College. Our students and teachers cook together, eat together, wash up together. It's not that some low-paid servant should do our cooking and low-paid servant should do our washing up. And we are educated academic lecturers and professors and teachers. We sit in the chair, eat, and then leave somebody else to do the washing up. That is not the kind of diversity and peace that you want. You want every human being to be respected and loved and celebrated, and every human being should have a dignity. So at Schumacher College, we cook, we eat, do what I cook. I garden. Why not? Gardening is a wonderful thing. And so it's the idea that some low-paid workers should do the gardening and low-paid cooks should do the kitchen, and I'm very academic and very educated, and I write books and I give speeches, and I'm not the cook. This is not the kind of education that I want. So in a nutshell, diversity, yes. Peace, yes. And you are the leaders. Don't hope that somebody else will come and save India or the world. You are the leader. Every one of us can do something. Don't think what Modi can do, what Putin can do, what Trump can do, what industrialists can do, what business can do. No. What I can do. Every one of you have to ask, what can I do? This is the message that I would like to convey to young people, that be the leader, be courageous, take risk in your life, and you will see that your life will be a wonderful gift. Thank you very much.
Bravo.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we witnessed the power that was, so thank you so much. Stirred a lot of emotions in me as well. And just to stay with the thought that was just planted, right? The idea of gardening. And if I were to be inspired by what you're sharing, a big part of today's gathering is for this to be a seeding moment where we're really planting seeds for change, planting seeds for a movement. So it's not they're leading and we're following, or somebody else in the room is following, but we are collectively defining and building this movement. So we're going to move into the dialogue part. मैंने बोला था शुरू से कि हम questions पूछेंगे, हम engage करेंगे. अगर कुछ था जिससे हम इंस्पायर हुए हैं हम पूछ सकते हैं, अगर कुछ था जिससे हम डिसएग्री करते हैं तब भी पूछ सकते हैं, बिकॉज पार्ट ऑफ दिस इज टू बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ डू वी मूव from this inspiration to the action. So how do we move from head listening to heart feeling to hands action? And we are the people to take that action. So we're going to move into that space, the dialogue space. And to guide this dialogue, we have two people joining us on stage. First is Sri Rajendra Pawar ji, and it is my privilege to introduce a visionary who has transformed the landscape of education and technology in India. Padma Bhushan Sri Rajendra Pawar, chairman and co-founder of the NIIT Group and founder of NIIT University. A graduate of IIT Delhi and alumnus of the Scindia School, Gwalior, Mr. Pawar has spent his life turning ideas into institutions. Under his leadership, NIIT pioneered IT education in India, equipping millions with the skills that powered the country's digital revolution. Today, through NIIT University, he continues to reimagine higher education as a place of innovation, research, and sustainability for a knowledge-driven world. Beyond titles and honors, what truly defines Mr. Pawar is his unwavering belief that education must serve both individual purpose and collective progress. That true leadership is about nurturing talent, trust, and transformation. His belief that education must balance individual growth with societal good continues to guide NIIT University, a living example of how learning can nurture both excellence and empathy. His words beautifully express the ethos of the Asian Lens Forum at NIIT University, which has so graciously anchored this event. His words, owing to centuries of dominance by Western culture and economy, we seem to have forgotten our rich and diverse cultural legacy. Asian Lens is an attempt to enable today's youth to appreciate and understand their legacy and draw inspiration from it. This thought truly reflects the spirit of the evening, where wisdom, youth, and purpose converge to reawaken the values that can guide our collective future. So please join me in welcoming Rajendra Pawarji. And since I was outed as his daughter, I will now be introducing my father. I have the privilege to introduce him. Sunil Malhotra, Mr. Sunil Malhotra, an engineer, industrial designer, entrepreneur, and author whose life spans 4 decades at the intersection of design, technology, and human-centered systems. Founder of Idea Farms, one of India's pioneering design and tech consultancies, Sunil has helped train business leaders in design thinking, bringing empathy, ethics, and sustainability to innovation. His work blends Eastern wisdom, especially yoga and Vedantic philosophy, with Western scientific inquiry. Sunil's 2 books, The First Principle and Yogai, Interplays of Yoga and Artificial Intelligence, contribute globally on topics of ethics, AI, and systems transformation. He has collaborated with global thought leaders to weave together spirituality, creativity, and technology. A self-described nowhere guy, he stands for human-centered innovation within the boundaries of ethics and sustainability, reminding us that everything we create must serve the planet first and then people. So please join me in welcoming Sunil Malhotra. And I will pass it over to the 2 of you to take us through a dialogue with the audience. And as they do that and invite you, हम encourage करते हैं जो youth यहाँ पे present हैं, आप please पूछें, जो भी आपके questions हैं, please ask. There will be 2 mics that will be moving around. And over to the 2 of you.
I'm sorry, mic's on होनी चाहिए. So, welcome everybody, and I feel partly honored, partly privileged, mostly intimidated, sitting on a stage with 3 great sons of this country. Of course, the greatest son that I know is Dr. Karan Singh.
Absolutely, yeah.
And some of you may have received an invitation where you might be surprised to see me sitting on the stage, because it was supposed to be Rajiv Mehrotra. And I do want to take the opportunity before starting anything else to thank him. Unfortunately, he couldn't be with us because he was supposed to do this segment of a conversation between Dr. Karan Singh and Satish Kumar, and that has landed on on Rajendra Pawar and myself. It's not trivial because it ties easily back to what Satish ji was saying. This title, Celebrating Diversity, actually came out through a conversation between Rajiv Mehrotra and Dr. Karan Singh and I, where he echoed exactly what you said. He said, one of the problems I see in whatever we are trying to do towards peace is that we are using the narrative or the slogan of unity in diversity. And when you think of unity, whether you like it or not, you think of one, and therefore you look for one common thread rather than celebrating diversity. So he said, I would rather that we talk about celebrating diversity. And I thought that was a very beautiful way to rewire our minds. Although it's there, it needs to come up to the surface. And the second, Dr. Karan Singh immediately agreed with that. But his very interesting point was, he said, tell me one thing. We had Vivekananda start and create this whole movement of spirituality leading to world peace, etc., in 1893. Over 100 years since then, we have been doing the same thing, multiple discourses, etc., etc. And all it's led to, which he said in his speech as well, said it's only led to more and more conflict. If you look at today, it's more and more conflict. So one can keep looking at the doom side of things, but definitely I would like to acknowledge that, I mean, I've been pushed into this role because Rajiv had to back out, he's not well. But we'll make the most of it. And so this is also an experiment. We were supposed to do this conversation, and I don't think, it has not been rehearsed between us. I think they don't know. So I may get beaten up for it, but I'm going to do it this way. We've heard these two phenomenal speeches, let me just say that, just 15, 20 minutes of each. And these are as good as something that can take us forward for at least a month, if not more. I mean, subconsciously, it can take us forward in life. And I'm sure, like me, many of you would have some questions to ask. So if that be the case, then instead of us starting the conversation, can I see if there are any hands to have questions from the audience to start with? Please. Wonderful. Thank you.
गुड इवनिंग सर, माय नेम इज़ चेल्सी. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल बहुत ही इन्फ्लुएंसिंग था आपकी स्पीच सुनना. सो माय क्वेश्चन इज़, हाउ डू यू थिंक दैट इंटरनल पीस विद इन एन इंडिविजुअल इन्फ्लुएंस अ लार्ज कम्युनिटी और अ नेशन?
How? Say again.
किस तरीके से किसी इंडिविजुअल के अंदर जो पीस जो भी मेडिटेशन हम करते हैं वो किसी
Yeah, understood.
वो किसी
So if we are talking about getting inner peace, inner resilience, etc., how does that actually spread into becoming peace in a nation?
You know, world is made of each and every person. So you have to, a great tree comes out of a seed. Unless you have that one small seed, you cannot have tree. So you consider yourself, I consider myself, each and every one of us consider ourselves as that seed. And start small. Start with yourself. Be the candle that we have lit. Be the light. Be the radiator of change. And when you be the change, then you become the example. You become the radiator. You radiate, you shine the light. And so all the great changes that have happened in the world have happened because some individuals started that journey. A Buddha, a Jesus Christ, a Mahatma Gandhi, a Mother Teresa, a Martin Luther King. Many, many people have started from that individual and spread the word. So be the change and then communicate the change. Speak to the audience, write a beautiful book, write a beautiful poetry, sing a song, like many Mirabai sang the song, Kabir sang the song, write a poem. So spread the word. That's how you change the world. And then you alone cannot do it, join other people. When you join other people, work together like a Sangha. Buddha started Sangha, Mahavir started Sangha, Mahatma Gandhi started a community. So work with other people as well. That's how you spread the word. So be the change, be the light, be the radiator yourself. Don't start with other people, but be the seed to become a tree, and then communicate your ideas in a more effective way through words, through action, through examples, in whatever way you can communicate, through songs, poetry, anything. And then communicate. After communicating, join other people and work together. And there's a strength in unity. You work together, then you can build a movement. And that's all you can do. And as Bhagavad Gita says, act, do your best, but don't expect results to be yours immediately. Results are not in your hands. Results are in the hands of the universe. But you do your best. Be the leader. Everyone is a special kind of leader. A leader is not a special kind of person, but every person, every one of you are a leader. So be that leader, be the change, communicate the change, organize the change, join other people to change, and whatever happens, leave in the hands of God.
Dr. Karan Singh.
I just reminded, one of the Upanishads say, even one is enough.
Yes.
So even if one person can change and be peaceful and be creative, that can have a ripple effect around you. But Upanishad very clearly says, even one is enough.
Yes, there you go.
It's a remarkable statement.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Suji?
We can have some more questions.
Yeah, more questions. Yeah.
One or two more questions. and-
Somebody here. Who's this?
So I do want to make one comment. Want to make a comment that when we were planning this session, we were thinking of which venue we should use. We were sitting with Dr. Saab and he said which venue should we use. Someone suggested India International Center, and before that sentence could be finished, Dr. Saab said that is for octogenarians. I want youngsters, I want students, I want young people, because we can otherwise keep talking to ourselves. So encourage all the students here. We have students, we have at least 4 different groups here. We have school students, we have 2 students from foundations, Save the Children Foundation and NIT Foundation. Those are children who have had less opportunity but have equal brightness in themselves. And then we have the NIT University students and Manavrashna students. So we have students from school, from out of school and from university. So this today's session is for you. I just wanted to reiterate so that every one of us has questions, but I'd suggest that we first get the questions from the young people who can benefit the most. So there was someone there who, yeah. Abhi kuch.
As Dr. Karan Singh said, that he advised us that the young youth should build their minds, but he also stated that we should embrace the technologies and the advancements that have been coming with the IT sector and stuff, right? But we often observe that technology advancements is one of the most prominent sources that is actually numbing the brains of the youth through social media and stuff. People are promoting violence. They are promoting hatred through social media. So how do you think we should cope with this situation?
Cope with that
Social
situation,
media,
technology and the social
the
media.
downsides of technology.
Downside, negatives of.
Well, everything has a downside also, I agree with you. And a lot of social media particularly, I'm not on social media luckily, because I refuse to be abused. But social media plays a very negative role on many occasions. And yet it is a great tool, it's a great extraordinary achievement. So every technology has a bright side and a dark side. The thing to do is to try and accept the bright side, develop the bright side, and leave aside, if you can, the dark side. It's a difficult task, I agree with you, but it has to be done.
So think of a knife.
We
Think
can't
of a
run
knife.
away. We can't run away from technology.
And think of a knife as an old technology. The choice of what you do with it is yours.
Same knife
Without a knife, you wouldn't be able to manage things. But so same about technology.
and the same knife can be an assassin's knife. It can be a surgeon's knife. It can be a knife that saves lives. It can be a knife that takes lives. So again, there's a dual use even of the most of elementary technology.
The choice is yours. Don't let other people dictate your choice, I think is the message that's coming from both of them. The choice is yours. Make those choices.
And with the technology, we also need to develop wisdom. Without wisdom, technology is not enough. At the moment, technology is moving very fast, and wisdom is not keeping pace. So technology should be servant of people rather than a master.
Wisdom is moving in the opposite direction.
Wisdom is moving in opposite direction. So cultivate wisdom as much as technology, and then you will use technology with wisdom, and then like at a daylight, either you can serve somebody or you can be a thief and steal something. I mean, in the light you can do good or bad. So the wisdom is necessary. Technology can be helpful if used wisely. So we need to develop wisdom together with technology.
There are more questions and there are also counter questions. So maybe I'll move to the more questions and you can chat one-on-one after. Yeah? I'm just going to pass it there and bring it back. So.
Good evening, sir. Sir, I wanted to ask that you talked about uniformity as being a worldwide ideology, and you also talked about having an unconditional positive regard towards others. So I wanted to ask that how can we maintain that unconditional positive regard while like maintaining and adapting diversity with it?
Opposition or opposite view should not be seen as something wrong. There are many truths, many ways of seeing things. It depends on the context, it depends on the conditions, it depends on the timing, when, where, how something is believed or said. So I think we should celebrate, as long as you do no harm with your ideas, as long as you don't say that I'm right, you are wrong, and if I don't believe me, I'll kill you, or I'll suppress you, or then I think we need to have diversity of views and celebrate diversity and listen to the opposite view and then have a dialogue, then a conversation. And bring your argument, bring your presentation, and that other person can bring their dialogue and their argument and their presentation. And this way, you can come to a middle way. And even if you don't come to a middle way, people should be able to go different ways. And so, I mean, in India, we have 6 philosophies: Sankhya, Vedanta, Charvak. Even Charvak, Nastik, was celebrated as a philosopher. And so, India has a good example of 6 philosophies living as one family together. And so I think ideas, opposite ideas is not a problem, as long as you do no harm and you don't say, I'm right and everybody else is wrong. Everybody has their point of view. Just live with it. That's what I will say.
So if I may add to that,
yes.
You can try an experiment. And this is not a new experiment. It was done in the olden days. Now, in schools and colleges, we are asked to debate, right? So a topic will be there, and a teacher will say, well, you speak for and you speak against. Doesn't matter what your views are, right? And then we practice the thing of proving the other person wrong. So it's a win and lose. Apparently, in the olden days, the thing used to be, then you will say, now switch your roles. Now you are speaking for, now you speak against. If you try that, then you start seeing the beginning of getting another point of view. Because we are just conditioned in schooling to be for or against the motion. Start from there. So attempt this. It could help people see when you have to speak for and then come and speak against, then you have this conflict in your mind, and then you try and see which one, what argument works. That could be a practical thing to start in your institution.
The 6 schools that Satish ji spoke about just now, these are 6 schools of Hinduism basically. And then you have Jainism, Sikhism, Buddhism, you have all these other schools. It may not surprise you to learn that over the years, in the early days, most of these schools actually emerged through the kind of debates that Raji spoke of. Instead of fighting with each other, okay, I have a different point of view, and now I find that this interpretation is making sense. I will debate with my opponent, and then if this also has, so it also feeds into your anekavad. Yeah. So, so there are multiple truths. So unfortunately, you have uniformity, unity, one truth. These kind of things actually wire our minds, and these are very I'm sorry to use that word, but this is a Western paradigm, binary, either or, switch on or switch off. The fact that we should be able to hold multiple truths together, all of us, there's so much of diversity in this very room, from color to status to stature in life, there's so much of diversity. I think the energies that are mixing together are creating such a wonderful evening, which you couldn't have done if it was 4 panelists coming and telling you, this is what you should be doing. Basically, that's one way to answer your question. I don't know. So there's a very interesting insight that I got when I was researching for some of the stuff that I was doing. I don't know exactly what it is called in Sanskrit, but one of the very interesting things that came out was that there was one form of debate. So like he said, that there are forms of debate where either or, and then it's for and against, but you continue to keep that. But however, there was a technique that they used, which they said, before you speak to oppose the other person, your job is to now repeat what that person said, right? And convince him that you understood what you said exactly the way before you start responding. Okay? But in this speed and greed that we've been going on with, what tends to happen is I don't have time. So let me just quickly take a reaction. And that's exactly what these gentlemen have said. Slow down. That spiritual part they call in the heart and the right hemisphere, all these mean that you need to just slow down a bit before you start saying, okay, now I need to just keep going on because I've got a bill to pay, kind of a thing. Yes, please.
Thank you. Somebody there.
Many questions. So should we do a conversation or just do questions?
Somebody there. Right. Continue.
Good evening, sir. My name is Pravesh. I am from Save the Children. And my question is, like you said, that today generation is grow without courage. So how to build courage? That is my question.
Courage.
Courage, yeah, okay. How to build courage? Simply be prepared to take risk in your life. At the moment, we are too much conditioned for health and safety. Everything should be safe. So, from my own experience is that when I decided to go for peace to Moscow, Paris, London, Washington. So that was the idea that I will go for peace and promote peace. Then I said, how do I go? I can go by aeroplane, I can go by car, I can go by train. What is the best way to go? Then I said, I need to have a courage and I have to do something a bit unusual and take risk. And so I said, I will walk. Then I said, I can have money and I can buy my food, I can have a guest house or a hotel to sleep, I can buy my shoes, I can buy my clothes, I can buy everything. But then I said, if I go without money, that means I'm really believing and trusting people. How do wars begin? Wars begin in fear. How does peace begin? Peace begins in trust. So how do I show that I trust everybody? If I have money, I don't need to trust anybody. I can buy everything. But if I have no money, I have to trust everybody, whether you are Pakistani or Afghanistani or Iranian or Russian or European or American or whoever you are, I have to trust you. And through trust comes peace. And so I decided to have a courage and take risk and go on two of my legs. And I started one step by one step, one step, one step, one step. And after 2.5 years, I was in Washington. And I had no single penny. And I didn't know who will feed me or not. But every day, I had a leaflet. I said, I'm walking for peace without money. If anybody wants to offer me hospitality, they will say, like somebody said, I had 4 packets of tea. Somebody asked me, if you have no money, how do you eat? I said, people offer us food. Oh, are you hungry? We have a tea canteen here, tea factory canteen. Will you want to come and have some tea with us? I said, all right, any time is tea time. So I went in and I sat down they make a cup of tea, then suddenly the woman who had invited me, she had this idea. And she went out of the room and went and came back with 4 packets of tea. And I said, you want to give me packets of tea, but it's a bit heavy to carry. She said, no, they are not for you. So for whom are they? So I would like you to give 1 packet of tea as a peace tea. She said, it's peace tea. 1 packet of peace tea to our premier in the Kremlin. 2nd packet of tea to the President of France in Palais Élysée. 3rd packet of tea in 10 Downing Street in London, Prime Minister of England. And 4th packet of tea to the President of the United States of America in the White House in Washington. I was amazed at an ordinary looking woman in a small village in Georgia by the Black Sea in the tea factory having this amazing idea. If I had money, if I was going by car, if I was going by aeroplane, I will never meet this woman. This is how you have a courage. So take risk in your life. And then I delivered. I had a good excuse to write to Khrushchev and President Johnson and Kennedy and everybody that I'm carrying a peace tea from a woman in Georgia tea factory. Will you receive me? And I was invited to the Kremlin, I was in the White House, I was in 10 Downing Street. They invited me because a woman from Georgia is sending a peace tea for the Prime Minister and President of the world. They could not refuse it. So I was in the Kremlin, I was in the White House. If I had not that peace tea with me, I don't think I would be invited in the Kremlin or in the White House. And so courage is to take risk and do something unusual, not just I get a job and I get paid and then I pay my bills and I get retired and I die. That's not life. Life is to do something extraordinary. And all of you young people, all of us have that capacity. As I said, a leader is not a special kind of person, but every person is a special kind of leader. So be a special kind of leader and have a courage and take risk in your life. And walking was not easy. I had to go over the mountains, in the desert, in the snow. Sometimes I did not get food. Sometimes I had to go through the desert 48 hours and no village, no town. So hardship, be prepared for hardship. Don't think that everything will be smooth and easy. When you have hardship, you are more courageous and you build your strength. So I think courage is the most important quality that every person needs to cultivate. And we have it all. You don't have to buy courage in a Connaught Place or Khan Market. You have it. In your car, in French, car means heart. Everybody has a heart. And courage comes from the heart. Strengthen your heart, have a courage, do something unusual, take risk, go through hardship, and you will enjoy it. I enjoyed my walk more than anything else. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
A very good evening to the panel. My name is Ipshita, and I just wanted to ask, how can the youth at schools or at universities work together and create a space where everyone feels included, valued, and be at peace with each other? Because we usually, what we see in universities and schools are some set of people or some set of students are usually left off, or they are being alone, or they are, very not in peace with each other. So how can we work together and create a space for everyone? That's my question.
Well, a very easy question at one level, but impossible to answer, but I'll try. I'll try. Because some people here are involved in the process of education.
Yeah.
And we've been involved in this activity. We have a university in a place called Nimrana, halfway to Jaipur. And we got a piece of land which is barren, but fortunately behind us is a little hillock, part of the Aravalis. And we were romantic about building a forest university. If you look in history, all over the world, the universities used to be in the forest. Of course, everything is in the forest, but living in the forest keeps you in nature. In these last 15 years, and Dr. Saab was the first chancellor for 10 years. Then we had Dr. Kasturi Rangan, the great scientist, for 5 years. Now we have an administrator, Mr. Amitabh Kant. But in his 10 years, we had many discussions of this type. He would do a lecture every year and long conversations. So this idea of bringing things together versus having antagonistic views was actually seeded in our very motto. And the motto that he gave to us, we had another motto, which was quest for knowledge, but he gave us a motto, he said, Anadi Anant, without beginning, without end. Translated into seamlessness is the word we use. So seamlessness is the opposite of divides. So we recognize that divides are not just between you and me, it's all over the place. So for example, man and nature, the point that he's been discussing on ecology. So now students, and we have a bunch of students here, feel free to talk to them. Students have to plant a tree when they come, and they have to look after it for 4 years, right? And recently, we were in Bangalore where we have a lot of our youngsters working in startups. And one of the owners said that, look, in this 12th floor of a multi-story building in Bangalore, we got a bunch of your students and they made the whole place green, just with flowers and pots. Did we teach them in a class? No. Well, they lived the environment, right? Similarly, even though it's a small university, there are 21 clubs. And clubs are actually the ones where you go outside your classroom and you interact. Whether you're doing music, or you're doing art, or you're doing plays, whatever you're doing, people are interacting. So you're breaking the divides because someone from this section or that section who may not meet each other comes into that place. So you have to create circumstances and situations with people. Sports is a great example. We have a lot of sports there as well. So therefore, you have to create an environment where young people get the opportunity to work with nature, to live in nature, to build nature. And then have outside the classroom, where you'll have exams and quizzes and everything else, time to work on something with your hands, to make things. And we do have classroom classes under the trees. We have a place called the Listening Tree, where Dr. Saab, in his last year, we told him, there are these 30 or 40 students who want to have a conversation with you, no holds barred. So he said, there's no mic, nobody from outside, and he had the most open conversation that I have heard him say. So I think when you have to create a setting, you have to create first a sense of place, and then you have to attract teachers who recognize the need. So our attempt also, I have colleagues here, some teachers from the university, and we created this thing called the Asian Lenses Forum, which is multiple perspectives to anything, as against one perspective. So it needs to have a setting. To me, I think any one individual as a student will have to work very hard. But wherever you are based, you have to challenge the leaders there to create the circumstances, to create a sense of place, a sense of connection. So every student in our institution in the first year, they have a credit course where they have to go and teach the children in the village schools. The most stunning thing we hear is, children come from Bombay, they come from big cities, and their first reaction is, these people are very happy. We thought poor people are sad. As an example, the disconnect we have from our society is so vast. And the whole idea is to connect. I think that's what we hear them say. So that is something which the setting that you're in, you'll have to influence. And I think create those opportunities.
My question to both of you, sir, is why did you do what you did in life and who guided you?
Why did you do it?
What
Why
you
did you do what you
I'll
did?
tell you why I did what I did in life.
And why I did,
Who guided you?
Who guided you?
I was born into a situation where at the age of 18, I became head of state. I didn't have to do very much, but I had to cope with the challenges that came with that. At the age of 18, there must be many young fellows at 18. 18, I was head of state, dealing with Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Maulana Azad. I mean, what an extraordinary experience. So from there onwards, here I am. Would you like to say why you did what you did?
You had 4
Frankly, I think it was just my own inner, it's a divine, if you like, the divine power or the divine gift because it was not really a guru who was guiding me. It was my own inner sort of inspiration. In fact, many people were opposed to what I was doing. But nonetheless, I carried on because I was convinced that what I was doing was correct.
You know, like that light, the Deepak, which a matches can help, but the light is already in that batti, in that oil. So a teacher can help you, but ultimately it's within you. And for me, my teacher was Vinoba Bhave. Vinoba Bhave walked around India 100,000 miles. Can you imagine? My 8,000 miles is nothing. He walked 100,000 miles for 10 years. And he asked rich landlords to give land for the poor. And I was such inspired by that example. And he got 4 million acres of land in gifts from rich landlords. Bhutan. Rich landlords. That was such an inspiring example for me that if Vinoba can walk 100,000 miles, I can certainly walk 8,000 miles. So that was one great teacher. But as Dr. Karan Singh says, these gurus help you, but light is inside you. They become like a matches. But your inner guru, you have to awaken your inner guru. And I did it because I was inspired to make peace in the world. Why did I do it? Because I want to see there's no need for fighting and wars. No need to have any enemies. Everybody should live and let live. Why we have to have billions and billions and billions of dollars and rupees and pounds spending on armies and weapons and tanks and guns when we can live in peace as neighbors? So I am very much kind of inspired by the idea of peace, which is a kind of Jain idea of non-violence. So I want to have a peace in the world. I don't want Ukraine war or Gaza war or Kashmir war or Pakistan-India war or any other war. I want everybody to live and let live. And that inspires me.
Namaste, everybody. Satish ji, in your wonderful speech, you talked a lot about diversity. So, being an Indian citizen, I'm very proud कि मेरा जन्म इस देश में हुआ है जहाँ पे कल्चर और डाइवर्सिटी को इतने अच्छे से नर्चर किया गया है. मैं आपसे ये क्वेश्चन पूछना चाह रहा हूँ कि how do you maintain the wide diversity we have in India, and what steps should we take to keep it alive?
Okay, I think you are absolutely right that India is a wonderful example of diversity of cultures, diversity of languages, diversity of religions, diversity of ideas, as the 6 darshan, 6 philosophies. How do we maintain it? Only by seeing that every culture has its own intrinsic value. Like you can have many forms of dance. There's no one dance which is better than any other. You can have a Kathakali, you can have Bharatanatyam, you can have Mohininatyam, you can have many Manipuri dance, many Bhangra dance, many other dance. In the same way, you can have many music, many languages, many religions, many ways of looking at things. So this idea of generosity of heart, this is what we need. We need to be generous to other people. Don't this mean that if you are not like me, then you are not good enough. If you don't agree with me, you are not good enough. You have to follow my religion or my politics. You have to be either communist or socialist or Congress or BJP or otherwise you are not good enough. I think let 1,000 flowers bloom. That should be the motto of India. Let 1,000 cultures, languages, religions, ideas bloom, and we all love each other. Non-violence unites. And truth and cultures brings and diversity is not division. Diversity does not mean division. Diversity means many forms of expression. Like let there be many languages, let there be many cultures, many religions, many nationalities. Diversity is the essence of nature, essence of evolution. If we forget diversity, we'll have more quarrels and more wars and more conflicts, because we always say, I'm right, you are wrong. You have to be like me. And that's not going to happen. So we'll always be in conflict if we don't embrace diversity. So diversity is the best way to go to peace.
I think we are going a little over time.
Yeah.
So I think we need to bring everything together, because I have to also mention that the whole idea, like Ishta said right in the beginning, this is not a one-way conversation. And why did we want to do this whole thing together and have everybody available with Rajendra Pawarji's assistance? We have now youth, we've got a mix of people. And the idea was that we will try to do this, like we've talked about. This word movement is a little bit deceptive, because movement, you don't really know what it means. But if you remember that most movements in the world that have been successful have, one, been non-violent movements, and second, they've happened slowly. I will ask Rajendra Pawarji to also explain to us, because this has been a pushback all the way through. You know, if we do an event like this, what's going to happen? So this event is not supposed to be that, okay, we have two great people sitting here talking to us, we will talk to you, and then we will go home and go back to life. So I really thank you for asking this question of how do we keep the diversity alive. Thank you very much. And so we do want this to be a sort of a seeding moment. We've talked about forests, we've talked about trees. Such a beautiful story you've told us just now about NIT University as well. And it's all because of NIT and Manav Rachna that we have so many people here. And like we started, we said, you are the future. We are kind of between the past and you, right? So we are not the past because we are still talking to you. So I will request Rajendra Pawarji to actually bring the threads of today's thing and also be a little more philosophical, and then invite this thing to move forward.
Very tough to have these two great people saying something for me to try and do anything with it. It's just pure truth, so it's flowing. But I think the whole idea was that where do we go from here?
Yeah.
Because everybody will remember this talk, but then what do we do with it? So the whole idea of getting a few groups together, and each of the groups, whether it's from the school or the university or the two foundations, there are 2 or 3 teachers or supervisors or guides with them. So I'm giving this message to those of you who've come with these people, is to start with, it's important to go back and have one session with the group to say, what did they get out of it? First of all, what did they get out of it? And what to do with it? And in that, there are guidance given by both of them. 2 words have been given to you. Build and build with courage. You got these 2 solid pieces of advice. So whatever you picked up today, what do you do with it? You have to build something with it. And it should be audacious. It shouldn't be ordinary. It should be courageous. So that is one aspect that I would say. And then from there, we have to hope that things go onward, because many of us have tried to do many things in life. And I think you're right. Nothing starts with a bang, because if it starts with a bang, shuts with a bang.
Yes.
So you start small, persist. Something go fast, something go slow. Right. And in our case also, the Asian Lenses Forum is something which takes speed and slows down, but the seeds keep going deeper. So these 5 groups which have come here, the leaders, please take this responsibility, that get these people together in the next week or 10 days and discuss on what they took away. And therefore, what out of that is something that we can build, and what can we build with courage. To me, that would be the next step, as I would see it. But I did have a question for both of you. We were actually meant to ask you questions, and he said, I'll ask 1 or 2 questions, then we saw how many came. So that, of course, speaks to the interest that people have. I had asked this, not me, but one of our students had asked this to Dr. Saab. He gave 11 lectures. Every year he was giving a lecture, annual lecture. So, and he was talking about, the Vedas and all the good things. And someone asked him the question. He says, why is it always so much fun to do bad things and so difficult to do good things? And he gave an answer that time.
Yeah.
But I have that question for you as well.
Okay.
So it's, you ask any youngsters, when they're having a fun time, they're doing something naughty.
Wrong.
Right? They're breaking, they're going over the wall, breaking some rule to have fun. But when you tell them now, do well in your studies and work hard, oh, what to do? Why is this? What is your understanding of why this is so and how do we deal with it?
Can I say that this idea that we like to do naughty things more easily and good things are difficult to do is wrong. I don't think it's true. Millions of mothers are looking after their babies with great love. Millions of teachers are teaching children with great love. Millions of doctors and nurses are looking after their patients with great love. Millions of farmers are growing food with great love. Millions of craftsmen are doing good things with great love. I think doing good things is easy, and we are doing more good things than bad things. So the idea that naughty thing is easy and why we do it and bad things are difficult, it's not true. We do good things much more than bad things. So please don't be so disappointed and so kind of pessimistic about life yourself. Say how love is fundamental. We love more than we anger. We love more than we fear. Just imagine how long are you angry in a day? 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. How long are you in love with your wife, your children, your mother, your father, your friends, your colleagues, your students, your teachers? Much more longer. Love is much more powerful. Let's forget this idea that we are very good in doing naughty things and good things are not easy. Good thing is easy and we do it, and let us continue to do it.
Very radical answer.
Yes.
You want to add anything to that?
No.
Please, please. You have to. Please do.
I agree entirely with what you are saying, Satish. You're very positive, I must say. You're one of those positive people I've met. You know, positive approach to war, to peace, to development. It's not easy to be positive in the way things are developing around the world.
Yeah.
I see somebody from Nepal here.
Yeah.
Nepal has been through a terrible time.
Yeah.
First of all, they had an uprising.
Yeah.
Then they burnt down all their great buildings.
Yeah.
Then they set fire to a lot of buildings. Then they've all drowned. So they've had fire and water both have destroyed a lot of Nepal this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is to be done? Nature is beginning to hit back.
I'm from the Shri Aurobindo Ashram, and when you people were talking, I think I just wanted to beckon everybody to say that the next Sangha, you could actually do it with us in the Delhi Ashram, because we have the space, we have the means, and everything that you're doing is based on, Dr. Karan Singh will vouch for it, is Mother's 12 qualities and powers. And we all have to step back. So without naming, the good things happen much more in the...
Yes. Yes.
So then the task for the 5 team leaders coming out of this conversation, that when you have that discussion, do a conversation on this issue. Confront that reality and see what can you do as a team to get everybody to get as positive as he is. We hope he's infected you enough to work on this and take that forward. So that will be the second actionable. And I think if that's okay, then we are in time, and I know Dr. Saab is particular about time, so we can close. If that's okay, we close.
Shall I thank you very much, Satish ji? Thank you. On behalf of all of you, I want to thank Sri Satish Kumar. He is not known well enough in India. The reason why we had this meeting was because we wanted to, in a way, reintroduce him to a broader audience and to young people, so that they can take advantage of his wisdom.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. Thank you for coming.